Hey, Pete,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. What's up in Florida?
Nice weather.
Well, that's good because I think New Louisiana is going to be, we were just talking to my brother in law, it's going to be 3 degrees.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I remember when I was there in the mid 70s, late 70s, and they had an ice storm that had shut down I 10 on 30 miles each side of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Just fucking awful.
Yeah. I remember when I was working down there once, I came from St. Louis where it snowed all the time and it snowed about an inch and it pretty much shut the city down and the people were just driving crazy.
Yep.
You know, here comes Billy. I knew they weren't used to it, but really.
Howdy,
Yeah.
Tom.
Hey, Billy.
Hey, Bill.
How y'all doing?
We're doing
Doing
good. We're
great.
just talking about 3 degrees. I just talked to my brother-in-law in North Louisiana. It's supposed to be 3 degrees there. They're worried about the pipes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to get in the low 20s or upper teens here, maybe on Mardi Gras Day,
Yeah.
which down here people don't deal with the cold weather like they do up north. So,
My wife's cousin lives in Fort Worth, and they had a 110 car pileup.
yeah.
And my buddy up in Indiana, his daughter also lives in Fort Worth. I said, "Are they checking to see if they're okay?" And he said, "Yes, they are." Anita's cousin said, "These idiots down here have think that four-wheel drive means they can drive anywhere at any speed." And she said, that stretch of the interstate is always filled with accidents, always.
But 110 cars, I mean,
Well,
how would you get them all separated? How would you have enough tow trucks?
no, it was stacked up for the whole next day. They brought all kind of wreckers in there and tow trucks and even an
Really.
ambulance that had pulled up to bring some of the people ended up getting hit by another car. So
Yeah.
it was a mess.
And
Yeah,
I saw,
it was on the national news.
yeah, I saw in the national news where a FedEx semi tipped over.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now I was going to say, because I lived in the Dallas area for 5 years, and they have a phenomenon there that we don't get here, and it's called black ice.
Oh yeah,
It's like you don't see it. You're driving, and all of a sudden you hit a patch of it, and you have no control over your car. I experienced it once when I was driving on the Interstate 20 going into Dallas, as I crossed over one of those little bridges that it isn't even elevated. It just goes over a body of water, and they had a thin layer of ice on it. And all of a sudden, I realized I'm on ice skates here. I was fortunately I was back then I was driving a big Lincoln, which was a heavy duty car, and I gained traction quicker
I
than
can't see
probably.
you driving some big Lincoln. That's kind of pretty funny.
Yeah, it was. My neighbor, after I moved to Texas, my neighbor was trying to sell it for $3,000. They wanted.
Hey, Rick.
hey Rick.
So I bought that, and then we drove it for
What's up?
5 years while we were in Texas. Howdy, Rick.
Hey, what's up, Bill? Tom? Peter?
Yeah, the nice thing about big Lincolns was the trunk.
Dear God, just trying to change a tire on it, though, I got a hernia. The tires. I'm seriously trying to get one of those huge tires on a Lincoln. It was just incredible.
Goodness.
Well, I watched this trucker on YouTube all the time, and he was talking about the black ice, and he said what you watch for, if the wheels are throwing water, if you see the water kind of coming off, he says if you don't see water coming off, it's black ice.
Yeah.
And you're screwed.
Oh,
Wow. What kind of weather do you have up there, Tom?
We have like 35 degrees.
Oh,
Yesterday it was 50. It's
Yeah,
going to get a little cold, but not much.
It's in the
We
low
got-
40s here now, but
Yeah.
it's not gonna freeze probably till Sunday.
we've got 82 here.
No, the one thing I
That sounds
had to
nice.
get used to living in Texas is to resist your impulse. And if you get into one of those skids with the ice, is to turn the same direction you're skidding. Because
Right.
most people, what they try to do is they try to correct by turning the other way. But if you
You
turn,
see that wreck on the interstate in Texas?
Pete and I was talking about, he said he had some family or something that was, or friends that were stuck up in that, huh, Pete?
There was 100 vehicles, and I think 9 people killed or something like that. Terrible. Wow. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the sad thing is, if you get hurt, like you get a big cut or something broken, they can't get to you.
No.
Right.
Some of those cars and trucks, they were piled up on top of other ones in vehicles and trucks. It's just God.
Well, they call it Dallas Fort Worth because it's basically like one giant city now. It's just you can't tell where one stops and the other one starts. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Bill, you mentioned almost gave you a hernia. I've got a hernia now.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, I don't know, whatever caused a hernia, it just happened, And I went to the doctor yesterday, the surgeon, and the primary care doctor found it, and I went to the surgeon yesterday. He scheduled it. My surgery's Monday morning.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. Just a few, and had the pre-op stuff done today, and surgery.
Is it like inpatient?
Oh, it's inpatient. No, outpatient.
Outpatient.
Yeah,
I mean, you just
they do
go.
the laparoscopy now, so they don't have to cut you open to get it done. So it's
he'll do it, and he said I'll be home. That late morning, go home that afternoon sometime. So
I had both sides done about 20 years apart. And
actually, I had my right side done about 25 years ago, and here comes the other one to make it even
They
fair.
put in a mesh and so that keeps the pieces from.
They say you can't.
What were the symptoms?
Falling through.
Well, down in your groin area, you'll have something pooching out.
Oh, okay. But did it hurt? Did you feel something?
something.
Well, I felt a lump.
That's supposed to pooch out. Huh?
Oh,
It's not supposed to pooch out.
I just remember. I remember going to Boy Scout camp, and before you go into Boy Scout camp, all the Boy Scouts got in line and went, and this doctor sitting in a chair. Come here, cough.
Turn your head and cough. Yeah.
And nobody said, you're going to walk up there and this guy's going to grab you by the nuts and tell you to cough. Whoa.
I think those guys are in jail right now. I'm not sure for a child.
I don't think that was.
No, this is just in that area up above. You just have you feel something. It doesn't feel real comfortable, and then if you do anything strenuous, they just starts really pushing out.
Okay.
Well, my son Billy had the surgery twice, but he works at Home Depot stocking at night and at UPS trucks during the. And so he's like all day long.
I thought he was lifting heavy stuff.
Lifting stuff. See, I avoid doing any of that, so I don't get the hernias.
Yeah,
I lift these here. It's about as much.
Well, they say don't lift anything heavy. If I can, but I have to go take a pee every once in a while. What am I supposed to do?
Okay.
No women. I just had to say that before they all got.
I heard it was no big thing, bro.
You got to drink the light beer, Rick.
You win, Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. I hope it turns out.
Yeah. I'll let you know.
Maybe I see him on the telephone. I'm
just
suing him. If you've had mesh such and such there, you're supposed to call this law office and you're supposed to sue the people. So maybe you'll get a.
No, the last ones I did were fine. I had one, I think in '94. I'm not real sure, but it.
Hello.
I'll be right. Let me. I think I got a phone call. Just wait. I'll get back.
Is that your shoe? Is that your shoe ringing, Rick?
Checking on his hernia.
Yeah. Well, John, he did request me to send him the link to that Google Drive so that he could get the files.
Yeah. No, I'm glad he watches it.
Yeah.
I think it's
John McLaren.
Yeah.
Saw that post he put on there, the real long one. That was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you guys saw it because I was going to put it up.
Yeah, I think he sent it to everybody. I had read that, and we'll talk about. We'll email back and forth about stuff sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
He just has a thing about getting involved.
Well, I don't know. Then we talked about him coming on the phone.
Yeah.
Then he was always having some kind of work thing going on. So I don't know. Maybe he's busy. Whatever. But I'm glad to see that he watches.
Yeah, apparently he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, every time I look at it, it looks like they have quite a few views on the YouTube.
Yeah.
On the link. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids would watch it.
Watch what you say, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the only work I'm doing.
How was your shots, Bill? You had any shots?
We got one shot on Monday. I had absolutely no
Good.
problems at all. Bonnie's arm was a little sore. She took a Tylenol. They tell you not to take anything like Motrin or any anti-inflammatories. It doesn't hurt you, but it can diminish the effectiveness of the shot. So
same here. I've had my second one in 2 weeks. The first one, it didn't hurt, just a little sore after it's over. You had yours, Peter?
I had both of them. Yeah,
Both of them?
I had the first one January 20 something, and when beginning of January, I had the second one February 3rd.
How was the second one? Was it sore?
Neither one. And what's interesting is they have it at the Orange County Convention Center. They have it down pat, because what you do is, when you sign up to pick the first date, you get that, and then they say, now pick the second date, so that they know you're going to come.
Yeah,
And
that's what they did. Well, they scheduled it when I was there for the first one. Me and Sandra, they scheduled us.
And then they print out a QR code that you have to print out or show them on your phone as the first drive.
Yours will drive through?
It's a drive-through, but
okay.
I mean, the convention center is huge, so they have it. This line, the driveway is probably half a mile long. So you drive off of Universal Boulevard and go down about 100 feet, 100 yards or so, 100 feet, and you show the lady there your QR code. If you don't have the QR code, you don't get in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you follow around, enter the underground level of the parking garage, and they show it to them again, and this guy asks you the routine questions. And then you go down, he says, go fine. And then they have like 5 or 6 lines of where they're giving out the shots.
Something they got to put down pretty good system.
And it's right down pat. And
did they scan your barcode, or they just look at it?
they scanned it and brought up my information.
Okay.
When
I was about to say, because you get one off a box of Cheerios or something. Go.
Yeah, no, it's just they know my name, my wife's name, my mother, and anyway. Yeah, and then you're finished. You go out back, and it's okay. Wait 15
Hey, Barry.
minutes.
Hey, Barry.
If you have any.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Barry. Hey, Snake.
Snake's here too. Okay.
Hi, Snake. Where you at, Snake?
It's cold here.
Cold. Yeah.
It's going to be cold in New Orleans too.
It's 82 here, Snake, so stick it up your butt.
Oh, Peter.
82.
Peter, that's horrible for you to say that.
3
Wow. Well, down here in around New Orleans area, it's going to be about what, Bill? 18, 20 degrees.
They're saying between 17 and 22.
Monday morning. Yeah.
There's David K.
Hey, David.
Dave.
Dave is joining us. He just had the
I was slightly delayed. I clicked on the Zoom from last week and was looking at it and said, this sounds familiar.
There you were, huh?
Yeah.
Keep coming back, David.
Yeah.
We'll have to find someone else to talk about now. David's here.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
So how did the fixers do on your computer, Dave?
It's like new. It's reassuring because it's a 4 or 5 year old laptop, and I get nervous because that's what I use to pay bills, and I'm afraid of losing it. But they said looks good. So
what did you have done to your computer?
it was a tune-up. When we
Oil change, lube.
Yeah, when we bought
Change the oil, rotate the tires.
Yeah. When our TV had gone out, we got a new one from Best Buy, and we got this Geek Squad protection plan, and it covers, the laptop too. So
That's good.
deal.
Yeah. We had that, and we had to have a new battery put in the computer.
Oh,
I guess a new battery, and then they put a new whatever it is. It's the system, like Chrome or whatever. You have to do something different. I don't remember. I don't know. Whatever they did, ours works good now too. But it's an older one too.
Yeah, I'm at their mercy too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Well, I got to, we get these neighborhood messages from everybody in the neighborhood when something happens. And I saw this message today that somebody on the street behind us had their car broken into. But then the people that broke in the car and took some money and stuff out of it left a laptop computer for them. So they're like, hey, did anybody lose a laptop?
They left a laptop.
They left the laptop in the back seat.
Hey, you got some classy burglars up there. That's great.
Yeah,
Probably stole that from somebody else's car.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
right.
Hey, Rick, where are you from? I said, where are you from?
Oh, I live in Mississippi, just right outside New Orleans, really just about 40 miles east of New Orleans on the Gulf Coast area down there. It's so it's whatever Bill and Barry in New Orleans have, and all like it's the same weather here.
Just more Mississippi-like.
That's right.
So Rick, what state did you practice law in?
Well, that would have been in Mississippi, but a little bit. I worked for the federal court system for some years. That was some of it was in Tennessee, and some of that was in Nashville, and then down in Louisiana too. Actually, Louisiana, all of them. But it was in Louisiana with the degree.
Hey, Rick,
Okay, ask you, Snake, did you get the link I sent you on your email?
yeah, I did.
You did. Okay, good. Did it work? You were able to get
Yeah.
the file? Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Snake, have you had your COVID shot yet?
No.
Still not. Gosh.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, see, up in Maryland, it's horrible. Emily got on at 4:00 in the morning because her girlfriend called her and said, "Hey, Safeway's opening up," and she got us a spot. But so many people up here, even older than 75, aren't getting them yet.
Wow.
And in the Safeway, they were doing like one an hour, one every 15 minutes. So like in an 8-hour period, you get 32 people. That's not going to get anywhere.
That's not going to do a lot. No.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick,
Dottie and I walked right into Walgreens and got our first one last week, and we're scheduled for our second one in 2 weeks.
We went to the hospital here. There was no waiting. We went back to the little room, and they asked us a few questions. Got it. We're out in 10 minutes. Had to wait. You had to wait 15 minutes after that for
Right.
whatever. I'm sure you
We
don't
went to
pass
St.
out or
Tammany
something.
Hospital here, and it was pretty easy. But they just did a test run in New Orleans with 1,200 people in one day at the Oxner
Mhm.
last week. I saw it in the paper. So
We were scheduled at Oshner too, but we didn't go because the Highland Hospital here came in first. And so
Yeah.
okay, we'll go.
yeah. Well, St. Tammany Parish Hospital here is affiliated with Oxner because I went and got my shots, and as soon as I got home, I get this alert from my Oxner saying, "Oh, your after visit summaries here. You just got a shot." Well, I knew that.
Oh, I know. I went to the doctor yesterday, and I had about 5 or 6 messages and reports and all that from my Oshner. Then today, when I got back, same thing. It took an hour to go through all of them.
Yeah.
But it's good. They're very efficient.
hey, Rick, could you give me your email address? I got a question about the Mississippi lottery.
Uh-huh.
You have your email address?
Oh, yes. It's Rick Sandra.
Rick,
Rick Sandra, one word. RickSandra
How do you him?
.rh
Hey, Jim.
at gmail.com.
Hey, Jim.
Rick,
All is well?
one more time.
RickSandra.rh at gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Jim, how you doing?
Not too bad,
We missed you last week.
Well, I have a,
Yeah,
a little
it's-
a snowfall to deal with. In fact, we still got it.
Oh,
Man,
that's
I got a foot and a half of snow in my yard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Build a snowman.
Hasn't gone over freezing in 3 or 4 days. We're gonna get some more snow tomorrow night. Unbelievable.
Right.
Christ, you think we're in Canada here? But
Wow.
Yeah, in Maryland, we've been lucky because this just keeps passing us by.
really?
Yeah, it's
You haven't had any of it, have you, David?
And it's just been a little bit here, just really nice. A little, a little coating, and then it's gone. The next day or two. So
You're close to the mountains there, but
yeah.
Down here in New Orleans, we're complaining about 45-degree weather.
oh,
it'll catch
Yeah.
up, Barry.
Yeah.
We got 3 degrees tomorrow.
3.
Jeez. Wow.
Better you than me.
Minus 10 overnight.
Snake,
I've got it.
that might make you grow some hair, Snake.
I don't think that's, I use lemon pledge.
Well, that's where the shine is so much there. Okay.
Well, I was going through some of the pictures that Billy sent, and they were pretty good. So here's the one I like the most.
I love
All
it.
right, Bill.
Hey.
Everybody clap your hands.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Oh,
guy
yeah.
in front of me, the guy with the red shirt wasn't impressed though. So
He looks like Ralph Malph from Happy Days.
Looks like Michael Caine with the red tie.
Yes.
yeah.
But it's so nice to see the club.
Well, we used, to have we used to have contests selling skimmers, so I'd always carry an extra 1 or 2 with me. Sometimes I carry 2 extras with me. You know,
My recollection is you were generally the top salesperson.
yeah, anything I can make money at. I think you give us a free pitcher of beer to sell or something like that. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but I remember there was a little prize we got for it. Yeah.
Look at, y'all saw Billy's vest? It was blue and yellow.
Yeah,
really?
that's one reason that we got rid of the vest. They just would kind of sit in that back room. You try to find one that didn't stink too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
yellow was from the cats, I think.
I think I weighed 135 pounds working there, and I had to heft 160-pound beer kegs.
What was the cat's name? Was Ludi, wasn't it?
Dude,
Yeah, Ludi. And Gretchen. Ludi and Gretchen, I
I
think.
wanted to be nice to Ludi though, because
Yeah.
if you pissed off Ludi, he would find your pile of clothes in the back and piss on it. He would.
I remember one St. Patrick's Day, somebody died, Gretchen Green.
What? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's,
Oh.
There's another picture of Billy being attentive to his audience.
no, you missed
Where?
it.
No,
You got
that's,
something. You got something else up there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
seeing Chris and what's his name?
Right?
You had a
Hard to
Facebook.
figure out what happened. Did you all see the comparison? That, yeah, you guys saw that where?
That's what you were putting up. You had to.
that's what you were putting up.
Oh, okay.
Put it up again.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
Wilfred Brimley.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And
Wilfred
Chris,
Brimley.
Chris and
I thought that was pretty funny.
We'll have to ask him if they're related, if he's related.
it does look like him. Yeah.
I think it's the same person. Really, I think he's running the double life.
Yeah. Well,
There
they-
he is,
Speaking of, there's
just Chris on the bottom.
yeah.
Hey, Chris, we were looking at your brother.
My brother, Brimley, Wilfred Brimley, right?
yeah, they
Yeah.
say he died, but we think you just, you channeled him, I guess.
Yeah, John sent this in.
Chris, you look much better than that guy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Was it the body snatchers? Is that it? Did you find a big pod next to you one day?
Yeah.
In fact, Wilfred Brimley looks like you've been eating too much of Chris's food.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or maybe too many peanuts.
Yeah.
You know, I still love peanuts to this day. I really.
Oh.
I lived on them for about 4 years, but
There.
Yeah, it used to aggravate me when they would go cheap on us and not get the salted and the shell kind.
Right.
Sometimes they get just the plain ones, and it's, come on, man.
They get the plain ones. I told us last week, get the plain ones and then tell the band they weren't playing fast enough or taking too long of breaks. That was David that did that.
My recollection was they were out of the salted or something, because I don't think, we intended to. I mean,
You weren't trying to save a buck, David.
no, even then I think, I wasn't, the sharpest bulb in the pack, but even I would have known that salt, makes you thirsty, drink more beer. So, I know I was out of it a lot, but that's,
Out of it a lot.
I remember sitting there with Mike Gentry and you guys came back and said, you guys are taking too long of breaks and all that. The beer sales are down. Beer sales are down. And we looked at each other and said, look at these geniuses.
Yeah.
Hey, I have two garters for sale.
Oh.
Highest bidder. They're little tattered. I think they're still kind of sweaty.
Hmm.
I have a Denver mustache coat here for the Denver club. It's lined and everything. I don't know where I got it from, but I've had it for 40 some odd years, I guess.
Do you still fit in it?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's not. I don't have any of my New Orleans ones; are all gone. But I do have a Denver one.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. I think someone left it there at the club one time or so. After a couple of years, I said, "Well, I'm claiming it." It's nice and lined.
Yeah.
Has like the letters aren't pressed on; they're like sewed on or something.
Yeah, ours. Now that's where we went cheap on the jackets. I know that. My New Orleans jacket disintegrated many years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Roger's got one. I think he still has one.
Yeah, it had sort of a maroon
jacket?
color one. I don't know if I'd call it a jacket. It was kind of like a little vinyl
Windbreaker or something.
Windbreaker type jacket. Yeah.
Dottie's got one. Yeah.
Yeah, but my mustache T-shirts and all that are long gone, except for the
Well,
one
it
that
is. I have one on right here.
Yeah,
Can you see Rosie?
there's Rosie.
There's a Fast Young Ed and
Eddie.
Tom.
Screwed it up.
I think I went 2 years where nothing I wore, but except for mustache T-shirts. That's it.
Yeah.
And stripes at night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Man,
Donnie,
And Dottie still married you.
Yeah. Man.
hey,
He was gonna
Donnie,
try to clean you up.
Donnie, whatever happened to L.J. Loughlin? One of the Dottie's friends.
Loughlin, who's that?
It was a chick that was a classmate of Dottie's at,
Oh yeah, I remember her. Gee, I don't know.
uh,
I don't
that
know.
name is, what name?
I'm sure Dottie knows where she's at. I don't know where she's at.
The name just
L.J.
popped into my head.
My God.
Dottie said lives in Europe or England.
Somewhere in
Wow.
Peter was asking.
In Blackpool.
Hey, Dottie.
Hey, Dottie.
Hey, Dottie.
Hey y'all, look at all these good looking men.
Where? Where?
Hey, glasses.
Where?
Oh gosh.
So,
Bye, Dottie.
somebody dinged.
Me,
Oh,
Not me.
All right.
it's like one of those pop-up timers or something.
I need to tell you guys that when I was pulling out of my house this morning around noontime, I thought that this is the first Friday before Mardi Gras in years I wasn't working.
Yeah.
Right.
Because this Friday is when all the bankers and lawyers have their big dinners
Mhm.
or lunches, their big lunches down at the nice restaurants in the quarter. They're all there in their suits. I've played, I guess, the last 17 years on this day. I'd be finishing up right about now at 4 o'clock. 12 to
Yeah,
4.
well, we'd be having, this is the first of 5 wild days and nights at
Oh, yeah.
the Mustache Club.
We're working at
That's
the
what I was
mustache.
thinking of. This was the day that Mardi Gras kicked into gear at the Mustache.
Yeah.
And I can tell you as a band leader, the big thrill was you got to pick the band members from out of town you wanted to bring in for Mardi Gras. And I can remember that one year it was the whole Denver band plus Gene Roof plus Steve Yoakum came in. And then a year after that, I remember having Herb Roselle, who joins us here, and Franny Smith, bringing them in. But that was a lot of fun. And we would start the music starting Friday through Tuesday, 11 in the morning. The first band went on. All right, 11 to 4. Then they had the 4 to 9 shift, and then 9 till, usually 3 in the morning or something like that. But it was 3 shifts, but it was so fun because there were so many mustache musicians. Every musician sat in with the other band when they weren't on shift. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember there was a lot of musicians up there.
There was always a lot of musicians. In other words, if I wasn't playing my shift, I'd be up on a bandstand with another band. But as a band leader, it was a lot of fun because you got to schedule In other words, what bands played with who. So the first night, what I do is keep the regular bands together. The Denver band did their show, the New Orleans band, the New York band. Then all the other shifts, the other days, it'd be a mix and match. And sitting there trying to mix and match them all was like playing chess. Yeah, trying to figure it out. And it really didn't matter because everybody sat in anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were fun times, man. I tell you.
Yeah.
I remember working as a waiter. I was still in college. I would go have classes at UNO on Friday. You couldn't park anywhere in the quarter by the time that I got off a class on Friday. I would ride the Elysian Fields bus from UNO and then just hike into the quarter with my stuff. And I wouldn't go home till after Tuesday.
That's why I generally lived in the
have
quarter.
a couple changes of clothes, and that was it.
Yeah.
I generally lived there, so we'd have to go out and leave.
I don't remember the changes of clothes. I just remember being there.
Who remembers Neil
We just liked
DeFeo?
something. It was
Neil DeFeo played trombone. He would go to Procter and Gamble, and he'd come waltzing in one night and just sit in and played his butt off.
Yeah.
Barry, you mentioned Steve Yoakam. I just heard him sing My Iguana, and I understand Danny Rubio wrote it.
He did.
That's quite a song.
And I was the first guy to ever sing that song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Danny wrote it and handed it to me. He says, here's the chorus, this is how it goes. Da, da, da. Go ahead and sing it. Yeah, I remember that.
That's
What song was that?
My
My
Iguana,
Iguana.
the
kind of
reptilian.
like Guantanamera, but different.
It's a little different.
Ira Gutman, as I recall, Ira Gutman wrote the words and Danny wrote the music. Is that
The
that
My
sound right?
Iguana, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's
Because
correct.
the band the jazz band I used to play with used to do that song. We had a guy who could do it very well, and he was kind of in fact he played trombone, so he was very similar to Yoakam.
And
Yoakam sat in with us once, and they were kind of like twins. It was great.
Do you know the song I Like New Orleans?
Yes, we do that too.
Well, let me tell you a story about that song. Danny and I had been buddies, since before high school. And one afternoon, I was in college, and he said, "Let's go out drinking. Let's go out drinking." I said, "I got to study." He said, "Oh, come on, let's go drinking." I said, "Look, we're at my mother's house, which was my house at the time." I said, "Look, my mother just bought a new cookbook about New Orleans recipes. They got all kinds of terms indigenous to New Orleans. Go downstairs at the piano and write another song about New Orleans while I study. Give me 2 hours." He opened up the cookbook and started seeing words indigenous to New Orleans and wrote that song in, I would say, an hour. I came downstairs from studying. He said, "Okay, I'm going to play this. Here it is. You sing it."
Really?
That's
Wow.
how that was. And that became the theme song, Chris, to Great Chefs of New Orleans.
Right.
Wow.
PBS show. Yeah.
Yeah.
That became the theme song. Danny made a lot of money off of that.
Cool.
Wow.
That's great. That's great.
He used to write some show tunes too. I was in a couple of shows that Danny wrote the music to. After, I knew him at the Mustache, but then I met him again doing theater. He was writing some original shows with Bob Bruce and David Cuthbert.
That's where I met Danny in local theater. We were both teenagers fooling with local theater, And, I talk to him every day. He's still a best friend. We're best men at each other's weddings, years ago.
How's Tracy doing, incidentally?
She's, I don't know. I think she's
I
doing,
hadn't seen Danny in a while,
I think she's doing better.
Okay, good.
But
Well, Joan's having trouble with her computer. She's still trying to get it working.
Oh,
But
Lord,
that-
really?
That her news is that we are cautiously optimistic about festival in November. The festival favorites, Professor Cunningham and his old school, Dave Bennett Quartet, Ed Metz, Rosano,
Split that.
Nikki Paratrio, and Tom Rigney, and Flambeau. Tom is son of baseball Bill Rigney, are returning. The first headliner announced this year is the Brubeck Brothers Quartet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All
Really?
sons or mostly sons of Dave Brubeck. We are also
Oh.
working on getting the ASSUNTO family tribute to the Dukes of Dixieland. More to be announced. So it will be more traditional, but just can't build a festival on traditional and find enough attendees to make a go of it. Hello to everyone. Today we are deep in Valentine cakes.
Yeah, Frank and Freddie Osanto were the two brothers that started the Dukes of Dixieland.
Oh.
The son,
That's
the
right.
son is trying to keep the legacy going by having what he calls the original Dukes.
You're right. I've seen them. Seen them I've seen them on Facebook doing that. Yeah.
Right. Well, y'all remember about 5 years ago, some of y'all were down there when we went and played the Suncoast Festival for Joan. Who was on
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
You were on it, Snake, were you?
Yeah.
And Chris, you did it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it. I had a
Yeah.
conflict. I couldn't make it.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It was.
That was a lot
It
of
is, I mean, it is a lot of, that sounds like great fun.
Clearwater? What city is she in?
Clearwater,
Clearwater, okay.
Oh, Clearwater.
Florida.
Clearwater Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure I went back the next year too, but not with the mustache. And I sat in with a couple of bands and had some fun, and listened to a lot of good music.
Mhm.
It was cool.
We had a lot of people show up for the mustache thing there. I mean, a few waiters too just showed up. Guy from Denver, I can't remember, Gene was his name.
Oh, the bartender?
Gene,
Yeah, Gene. I know who you mean. I stayed with him once.
yeah. Yeah, I know he showed up because I remember hanging out with him, you know.
Nice guy.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Hey, I got a question for you, those of you that might know. How many people do you think the New Orleans nightclub sat at full room with seats at the bar? About how many? 400, 300, 500?
I'd
Maybe
say
you should know.
350.
Huh?
I'd say 350.
350?
just because
I don't-
when it was full open in all the tables, because they were bench tables. I mean, it wasn't like, we just
Right.
squeezed them in. You
So
know,
what'd you say, Billy? Dave
I
said
think between 350 and 400 when it was all
That's
the way.
what I'd say the same. I'd have said the same. There's something that.
Sometimes we were able to have like 12 waiters on, and everybody had a little section. So
Yeah.
Then at Mardi Gras, we removed the bar stools, and that whole area between the benches and the bar was standing room where we, instead of getting 15 people there, we get another 50.
Yeah.
Standing there, remember that? Up against the bar.
it was
No
great.
social
Remember
distancing
Mardi
there.
Gras? You'd be the doorman and you'd stand there and people would want to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
I was just wondering because I know that the Red Garter in Wildwood, you hear us talk about so much, that sat 700.
Good night.
Man, goodness.
And guess what? A line outside the door every night around the block. Huh, Peter?
Yes, that's right.
They're open every night of the week.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, every night.
And free booze for the band.
And
Oh.
at
Hey,
that
Ira.
Hey, Ira.
continuous music.
Yeah.
Every night, 2 bands.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
No breaks.
Ronnie,
Music.
Ronnie Bill and Barry's band.
It's a big club. Yeah.
Well, last week when we were talking about the no horns because of the COVID,
Right.
John sent, I don't know if he sent it to all of you, but he sent this. Can you see it?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fine.
The Burp Company.
Okay.
How's that?
Huh.
It's
That's a big one for the tubas.
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah,
send
right.
that. He sent this.
Now here's one for you. Gene LeBeau called me up and told me this one. Which musical instrument, which wind instrument spreads COVID more than any wind instrument? What do you think? If you thought tuba, it's not tuba.
I would think a trumpet, huh?
Yeah.
Trombone,
Clarinet.
clarinet.
No, flute.
That's what I said.
Flute.
Well,
I said,
Sure. Yeah, because the wind goes right across the top of it. It doesn't go through the horn. Yeah.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you couldn't make a burp filter for a clarinet.
No.
Oh, you could, but it wouldn't sound very good.
I was thinking of the mustache during Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and you know what? That club would stay full from like 11:30 in the morning on Friday morning, unless it was closed. 11:30 in the morning, it was full till Mardi Gras night at midnight.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we closed just a couple minutes.
Absolutely full. That's why I asked how many it sat. You know, so you talk about 450 people every day from 11 till 3 in the morning for 5 days.
Am I remembering it wrong? But didn't the street open up at 10 o'clock on Mardi Gras night?
No, 12 o'clock.
Midnight.
At midnight, the police come through and get everybody off the street.
On horses,
Come through with the
horseback, yeah.
horses.
Yeah, it was
I
just
remember the
And
horses
then the
coming
street,
through.
then the street sweepers would come through.
That's right.
Yeah. That was the thing.
So if you had the late shift Tuesday night, you got a short shift
yeah.
because that was only 9 to 12.
But actually, we sometimes wouldn't actually close. I mean, you know, the street would get short, but everybody
Yeah.
you know, sometimes there's a few
Push them off the
stragglers
street.
in there, you know.
They would come in the club and stay there for a while a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because we didn't, I don't think we had to shut down at midnight. The
No.
street supposedly closed, but you know,
Yeah.
once
No,
the
it
police
was
left.
it was such a statement that, you know, the street
Yeah,
opened
so
at
do I.
12 o'clock. It's all over. Go home.
Mhm.
It
And
was-
remember the waiters would stay upstairs. All right, did you stay up there?
I stayed up there my first year.
Yeah.
Learned your lesson, did you?
You knew
Yeah,
better
that was
next-
also my last year too, staying upstairs.
I remember Mike Johnson. He come every year and stay upstairs.
I came every year?
Yeah.
I don't remember
I
that.
remember.
Wow.
Oh, it was fine up there. It had
Mike
a bedroom,
Johnson
and a
back
shower, everything.
Yeah,
How
'cause it
many
was better
people
than-
were up there? Like a dozen people? There were rooms for a dozen or something?
I
Oh.
guess.
We just put mattresses all over
More
the
than
place
that.
up there.
We made rooms out of skimmer boxes. Remember, Bill?
Yeah.
We made different little separate rooms out of skimmer boxes.
Laid a lot of mattresses down up
Those
there.
were
Some mattresses.
Those were big boxes.
That was
Yeah.
first class
Oh,
accommodations, man.
Oh, the
yeah.
best.
It was
With
so
the
much easier than
balcony?
trying to walk Bourbon Street, though, because that was
Couldn't get a better spot with that balcony there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had great view of everything.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, but they were still running. Weren't they still running Bacchus in the French Quarter at the time in the early '70s? It seems to me like I can remember.
I think all the parades went through the quarter.
Mardi Gras parades were still
On
passing
Royal
the
Street.
French Quarter some nights, and like with all those people in town, it was crazy.
I used to take my daughters and stick them in the window of the Royal Orleans, and we would watch the parades come down Orleans there in the
Yeah.
quarter.
Well, guess
Must be
what's starting
strange.
down there right now? Starting down there right now. Not allowed to sell any booze at all, carry out or anything. No bars open. And even just to get on Bourbon Street as a pedestrian, they have barricades at every block, and you got to show that you're staying in one of the hotels on Bourbon Street to even get on Bourbon Street as a pedestrian.
Or a resident.
Yeah, or a resident. Yeah.
Well, the sad thing is everybody's just going out to Metairie, you know, and doing what they want, and then going back into the city, you know. So it's
Well,
not,
what caused
Live
a lot of
with
that,
Barry, as
Barry?
you know it, I won't be out there, especially not tonight.
Well, you saw the video of what happened 2 Saturday nights ago down
Right.
there, and that's what caused all that.
yeah. Well, this last Saturday, the last night, Thursday night, some bars got closed down for
Yeah.
not
2 of
following protocol. Yeah,
In the 400 and 500 block in Bourbon.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Must
that.
be weird looking down Bourbon Street now. Nothing going on.
There's nothing on it. Nobody, no people, no trash, nothing.
Wow.
Not even those fake legs coming out through the window like that.
She must be 80 years old now.
I think she was 80 years old in 1970.
Probably so.
Actually, for like around 70, 71, for a year or two, they were real girls with them, and then they finally
Yeah,
changed it to the
swinging
fake
out.
legs.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they had that little swing. Those
When
fake
they do open up Bourbon Street again, though, I wonder how many of the bars will be still in business.
It's a good-
All the ones I've owned by the mafia.
Let me tell you what, and that place y'all talking about, Big Daddy's, that was the name of it.
Oh, yeah.
Big Daddies, yeah.
Well, in I guess it was 82 or something like that, Roger and Fred opened up another Your Father's Mustache. All right? And it was in like a tent beside that building.
Yeah, I remember.
All right? It was cold in there. It only lasted for like 4 or 5 months. But the mustache, the new Your Father's Mustache that they opened, I played at it. But we shared a bathroom with that place.
The Big Daddies.
Exactly.
Man, if you remember, the first location for Big Daddies was in the 300 block of Bourbon.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. It used to be there for a while. I got to be good friends with the doorman there. He could come down to the club and they give him beer or something, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was one
this
thing
was
that
down
was
in the
kinda nice.
500 block. The 500
Yeah.
block is where the legs come out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of nice when we were working down there 4 years because, like, you'd take care of other people that worked in the quarter, and anytime you felt like going someplace, they'd take care of you. So it'd be like,
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, this is a shot that brings back memories to me. The camera girl at Your Father's
That's Denise.
Mustache.
What was her name?
This
Denise.
said Denise. There were a couple of them.
I'm
But
pretty
they,
sure.
they had a big speed graphic, and they would go in the back, at the very back of the building, and have their dark room back there. And they would turn out, the matchbooks with the pictures in them and stuff. And
I don't remember. Her name was Denise. What year
that's
was
what it says on this.
That would have been 71.
71?
Yeah.
We were
Guy in
there
the
then.
glasses looks like the same guy that was in that picture with Billy.
Yeah, it is. 'Cause my little brother Kenny was there that night and shot pictures. That's the only pictures I have at the mustache. He came down and sat in my section and shot pictures. That's why I even have these. But she's the same gal that shot the picture of my I don't know if you call it a bachelor party, but my night before I got married, I was working, and they got me on the bandstand.
Yeah.
She got that picture, so I appreciate
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Well, speaking of the dark room there, where I had been done darkroom work, I would go in there, and the guy would just pump up the temperatures so that it would develop really quickly. He was an old New York Times photographer, and he had all of his cameras and his film. He had that thing down with pat.
That was at the back of the hallway, at the very back end.
Yes,
Back of the
yeah,
hallway.
and he would have his
And
safe light, which is
in New York, we had Irving Frolic.
Oh, hey, God, remember him, Bear?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Here's Billy's bachelor party.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Fred Alonso?
Yeah, that's Fred Alonso,
That's Fred.
Irv Eisen.
Les Muscat, and David, and
Irv Eisen's on tuba.
Joe
John.
Biden, right?
Yeah.
And Rex Karger's next to Herb, and Mad Dog's right in between me and Les Muscat.
Yeah.
And John Stacy's on washboard. And Kevin Monahan is right in front of Rex Karger. And Al Siebel was all the way to the right.
You got a good memory. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember, but I don't remember
Yeah.
everybody. Wow.
Yeah, I replaced Irv Eisen. He had taken up skydiving, I heard, and he on his first dive he broke his leg in 4 places.
Oh.
It was
Funny, Peter? You laughing?
well, I got the gig. I mean, I was turning down a job that I graduated, and the only job that was available in upstate New York was teaching junior high vocal music. And I said, oh, fuck, I don't want to do that. And then Wes Mix called me up. He says, hey, we need a tuba player down here. And he told me what happened to Irv. And I said, okay. I had just finished college, and I told them to mail me my diploma. And I went down there and started playing.
All right.
Summer of 72.
Yeah.
Now, Irv Eisen, the last time I talked with him, when we were getting ready for Carnegie, I was given the task of trying to get in touch with everybody that worked in the New Orleans club.
All right.
So I had a database of phone numbers, and I was on the phone forever. And I got in touch with Irv. I mean, a lot of people you had to search out and find.
He was in North
Did you do
Carolina
that?
someplace.
You did that, Ira, for New York. Was it you or Gim?
For what?
Trying to find people to let them know about Carnegie.
No,
I looked for people. I know I did.
I chased down about 150 people. It was,
Yeah, me too, for New Orleans, and Irv
Yeah.
was one of them. Irv was living in Indiana, teaching at one of the universities there, and we had a nice talk for, I guess, 45 minutes. He said, "I'll definitely be there at Carnegie. I'll definitely be there." I never saw him again.
Sounds like Danny.
Yeah. Yeah. He never called.
Never calls.
Yeah, well, this
Remember,
is a picture this is one of the
remember
pictures
Gail
that
Manning,
Snake
Barry?
sent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Gail and oh shit, what are those two dancers' names? I forgot.
That was
What stage is that? Is that New Orleans?
This is a picture that Snake sent me the other day. So
oh, yeah.
What club is it?
So that's
me.
Denver.
That's me
Yeah.
50 years ago.
Oh.
Snake, is that you?
Yeah. And Vanasek.
Vanasset and Snake.
Vanishek. Yeah, that's it.
And on tuba, that's who?
I'm not sure. 50 years ago, I can't remember last week.
Big tuba. It might be Petroselli, huh?
It might have been Clark too.
Might have
Yeah,
been Clark.
Bill Clark.
How about trombone? Can you remember who's on trombone?
God, I can't remember his name. I know the face, but I can't remember.
But that's Bob Vanasset up there.
Yep.
Vanasek or whatever.
Vanasek.
Which one is? Are you Snake? Which one?
On the right.
Snake's with the glasses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember our band ever sitting down.
I don't either.
I must
We
have.
did before
Not in New York,
1970.
Barry. Not in New York.
This was in the late 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, the band sat down till about 69.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I started in 71.
Yeah, yeah. I know when we started, they were standing there. You know.
I remember when I went up to the Red Garter in Wildwood, all the banjo players sat down. I wasn't used to sitting down. I was used to doing a mustache standing up. So being a stand-up banjo player, that was very unique. They thought I was something just because I stood up.
What year did Red Garter close? Because I was out of Wildwood when they closed.
I think they stayed open till like 89.
Yeah, because I left in 82 was my last summer there.
Yeah.
Wow. It's probably condominiums now.
Yeah.
okay, and here's another picture from Snake.
Oh.
Snake, you look like Robert Redford in that picture.
I don't think so.
You look just
Is that
like
Denver?
Robert Redford. No shit.
That was Jerry Goodnight.
Jerry Goodnight. He's the first banjo player I ever heard had the mustache.
Really?
That guy right there. And I thought he was very good. But now he was the first I ever heard. I didn't have anything to compare it to, but I was a new waiter. My first night as a waiter
I
in
see.
New Orleans, and he was playing in New Orleans.
Wait a minute, I'm looking at those prices. They had nickel beer and 1 cent for what? 1 penny for what?
That was Lickle Beer. It looks like ladies' night.
Ladies,
Yeah,
night, yeah.
nickel beer, but they have
Oh.
1 cent for something on ladies.
That was champagne, 1 cent per glass.
1 cent for glass.
That's all
So
that
ladies,
other pictures.
ladies night.
Wow.
Wow.
On Wednesdays.
Huh.
Denver was a nice club with a brick wall in the back, and oh wow.
Yeah, the stage looks nice.
That's the only other club I ever visited, other than, of course, working in New Orleans. But I did go to the Denver club once.
I remember one time in New Orleans, Kent McBride was waiting, and this old codger says, "Give me one of them nickel beers." And Kent said, "Sir, we haven't had a nickel beer since Warren Harding's." Oh, boy.
Yeah. Kent was here last week, Peter. He joined the group last week.
Kent. It was good to see him again.
Yeah. Good to see him again.
He's doing good. He seems to be fine. His kids are fine. You know, everybody's working. So
Yeah. Well, Tom and Kent came in at the same time to the mustache.
yeah.
Mm.
Tom and Kent drove around the country for like 3 years. And the only argument we had was we were coming to New Orleans and we were going to stay one night. And that night was Saturday night, and we went to your father's mustache. We didn't know about it, but we went there because it was the only thing on Bourbon Street. But we got a little too drunk and we were driving we had this little van, and I made an illegal left turn and got smashed in a car accident. So then we had to stay.
Mm.
And then we met this beautiful woman named Barbara who knew David or knew Roger. She knew somebody, but she got us jobs at your father's mustache. And that was great.
Was that my ex-wife?
No, not that Barb. This was a different Barbara. This was a Barbara that let us stay with her. You know, we didn't really have any money, so we went to the tourism bureau looking where the library was, and Barbara was working there. And she started talking to us and let us stay at her house. Then she got us jobs.
Craze, man, but that's something.
Then she got us a job at the mustache, and then about
how those librarians are. You know.
Yeah, then about 2 weeks later, she said, "You got to move out because they're going to arrest me tonight for I don't know, she was getting arrested for drugs or something." But we smoked dope with her, but we never seen too much. And then the next week, she was working for the sheriff's department. So Barbara was doing pretty good.
Only in New Orleans.
Only in New Orleans.
We got to find out what her last name is. There's a story in here somewhere.
Kent would know.
Florian's let you two guys stay at her house right on first sight.
She let Kent stay in her bed. I got to stay on the couch.
The luck of the Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
She helped us a lot. She was great.
Mm. Yeah. Well, Kent and Tom are both bigger guys, so it was good to have them around for those rough nights. Even if Tom couldn't help me throw out the Swede.
We got him out. Just kept him moving. But I did learn, from working at the mustache, I learned don't mess with the little guys. You can throw out the big guys, but be careful of the little guys because they're going to hurt you.
Except when the French boat was in the Jeanne d'Arc, I'm not a big guy, but I was bigger than every one of those little French sailors. They were climbing back in the beer stand window as fast as we were throwing them out the front door.
I can't remember that. Yeah, they were wild.
I still have a Jeanne d'Arc hat somewhere in one of my boxes because one of the sailors forgot to bring his hat back to the boat.
But like we were saying last week, I don't remember too many fights in any of the mustaches.
We wouldn't fight. We would just get them out the front door.
Yeah.
And let the police take care of it.
I don't remember too much of that.
Yeah. No, not too much.
The police were totally on our side.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember any fights myself, really. I mean.
Now, the only thing they told me, remember, they said, get their feet off the floor, carry them to the front door and get them on the street. Don't try to fight with them just because once their feet are off the floor, they're going to go where you want to.
In fact, when I was up in New York with Ira, I don't remember anybody getting kicked out of there.
We had that back door, remember, Bar, with the red light on top? And we would just push them out the door, but it wasn't that often. Wasn't that often.
I got written up in the paper once. I was working bar, and Kent McBride threw somebody out the front door, cleared the sidewalk, and got hit by a car on Bourbon Street.
And that's when he said, they've opened up the street.
Yeah. I remember, and somehow, I guess because the police talked to me, I got written up in the paper as if I had thrown this guy all the way. And it's not a huge thing, but there's no way I could throw a person 8 feet, from the front door to the street. Now, Kent could, but I couldn't,
Yeah, that was a good night.
That was not the only time that something like that happened. The guy who was cashier before I was at the mustache was there one night, late one night, or I don't know why he was there. But when he left, he went zipping out the front door and was loaded, and he got hit by a car. Not hurt anything, but
because on Bourbon Street it would be closed until about they would open it at different times. It'd be
Like
after
2 in the
12.
morning, I think. It
Yeah,
was,
it's usually 2, but sometimes it might, on a Sunday night, it might be a little early.
yeah.
Sometimes when you're throwing somebody out, you didn't know if they were going to get hit or not. It's when the brakes squeak. You can't just turn around and goes, oh, fuck, the streets are.
Somebody was going fast on Bourbon Street, except for that one time that it was one that was at work and somebody had stolen a car and they came zipping down Bourbon Street and all the barricades were getting thrown up into the balcony
Wow.
and stuff.
Oh.
I remember,
Jeez.
I was not at work yet. I was still walking there, and Bonnie called. Nobody had cell phones back then, so trying to find out because there were a few injuries. But yeah, the police were chasing a guy in a stolen car, and he actually went down Bourbon Street at high rate of speed. Just
Pretty
Jeez.
stupid.
I don't really remember any fights in the club.
Yeah,
Remember we had to
I
throw some guy out one night that poured a pitcher of beer down Kent's pants. I remember that. Remember that, Tom? The back of some old guy, he put his.
Yeah, and I think Ken said, hey, you want another pitcher? It was some more money for Ken.
We used to, sometimes in New York, I don't know if you remember this, when the Norwegian sailors were in town,
Oh,
there'd be some brawls.
Yeah.
But there weren't that many, but the Norwegian sailors were brutal.
See, I remember them raising hell, but not fighting.
Yeah, there were some fights, but among each other, among themselves.
One night they came into New Orleans, they asked me and Tim Shea to go on their boat. 2 banjos were just singing, and we went on their boat and entertained the guys that couldn't get leave and all. Man,
Right.
they paid us a whole bunch of money. Peter, were you involved in that?
No, I wasn't.
I think it was me and Tim Shea.
Was that in New York or New Orleans?
New Orleans.
New Orleans, right?
Yeah, I remember the Norwegian sailors would come there too occasionally.
Yeah.
yeah.
They were always nice. The sailors were great.
They just wanted to have a good time. But that guy Tom and I were trying to throw out kept chasing women into the ladies' room. That's why we were trying to get them to leave.
I like, the bathrooms were shared between Mustache and Clarion or whatever bar was next door at the time. And
Clarity.
people would get really drunk and go in that bathroom and come out the Clarion, which was totally different than the Mustache. And we're like, where are we?
You didn't have your own bathroom in New Orleans?
No.
Really?
That's what it
We
meant.
shared it with the bar next door. Yeah.
Well,
What was the name
Roger
of the bar?
Clarity.
It was all,
Roger
it was all,
owned-
part- it was
Roger
all
owned it.
they rented actually it was all one building and they leased from the Mustache, I think,
Oh, okay.
and we shared a beer cooler with their bar too. They would come in and sometimes we'd be in there changing a keg and they would come in sometimes and sometimes it was just like a giant bong in there.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Now,
A lot of fun times.
the Mustache in New Orleans would charge 25 cents for the box of peanuts, but in New York, it was free.
Free.
No, 25 cents.
When I got there, I heard it was free.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I'm
Absolutely.
saying the second time I got there, I remember noticing it was free.
Oh, I don't remember that. I remember a quarter.
Okay, well, maybe I could be wrong on that one.
No, we were always
No, you're right. You're right. The peanuts were free. The peanuts were free in New York, Boston too, Cape Cod likewise. I think it was probably free on the Jersey Shore, but I don't remember.
yeah.
We're in Point Pleasant.
Yeah, at Summers Point and Point Pleasant, there was 2 clubs.
Right.
Yeah.
They were free and never.
Wilson hired me at your father's Mustache in New Orleans. And I remember one of the first things they told me was that you don't sell a pitcher of beer without some nuts too.
Right.
In fact, they called that order a Wilson. It was an
Oh,
order
really?
a pitcher of beer with a box of nuts for 25 cents.
Oh.
That was for Bruce Wilson. Was that what?
Bruce Wilson. Yeah.
I didn't know he was in New York too.
That name is familiar from New York, Bruce
Yes,
Wilson.
but
What was he, a
originally
waiter?
from Denver.
Assistant
Originally,
manager.
He was from Denver, Bruce
He
Willis.
must have gotten
He
around.
might have come to New York, Bear.
I
I
don't
know
know
the
if I
name.
Yeah.
Maybe I was having a nightmare, but I within the last month came across something that said Bruce Wilson that was in New York or showed him there or whatever.
When I started as a waiter, he was the visiting assistant manager for New Orleans.
Along with LaRue was there too.
Orientation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, no, he hired me on for Mardi Gras. Fred wasn't there, and that was when Rick came down the next day. Wilson probably hired you too. I guess.
Yeah, he did. He
I
did.
went down and he just told me, "You got a white shirt? Come back tonight."
You're hired.
Hey,
Yeah.
David, John McLaren in his email, I don't know if you got it.
Yeah,
But
I've
he
been getting
mentioned he mentioned a name from way back, Howie Weinberg. You remember him?
Yeah, I remember Howie. Yeah, nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was in one of one of John's emails where he mentioned Bruce Wilson.
Could be.
That
But
might
the
be
name
it.
Howie Weinberg, that's from way back.
Yeah.
I
I
remember him.
remember.
I didn't know Howie Weinberg went up to New Jersey and managed Point Pleasant.
Well, I remember that.
Yeah. You remember him, Gim? Howie Weinberg?
No, names that doesn't sound familiar. No.
According to McLaren and in his email last week, he said that Howie went up there and managed one of the New Jersey clubs.
Could be. Could be. McLernand's,
But they were only
McLernand's,
open in the summer, so you must have gone back to another club after that.
Yeah.
McLernand's emails are really interesting. I mean, the guy has a memory like a steel trap.
Yeah.
And he remembers everybody and everything.
And he's listening right now, so everybody say hello to John. Hey,
That's
John.
right. Hey,
John.
John. You must have been taking notes back then. Gee,
Well, that was an extensive email he put out about.
Yeah,
all this.
I think this is it. I mean,
It is. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that was a good email,
That
John.
was
Thank you.
Quite interesting. Yeah. We have
Joel's 84, huh?
Wow.
yeah.
Man, the last time I could read that small, it never happened. Never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, more than bifocals don't do it. I need a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Well, I think you all got it. So
Oh, yeah.
We all,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he said
Easy to
that to
read the
everyone.
email.
that was very enlightening.
He's pretty thorough when he writes emails.
Yeah.
yeah, he is.
He covers a lot of ground.
Did y'all get the email from the Banjo Museum?
I don't know.
About the Mardi Gras? About the Mardi Gras?
Banjo
Yeah.
girl or something.
Yeah. I don't know how I got on their list, but I am this Saturday, 7:00 Central Daylight Time. Oh, well. Highlights of the past crude banjo performances, including Jambalaya Jazz Band, Shelby Eicher, Bill Allred, and Rosie O'Grady's.
Cool.
Virtual, yeah.
Cool. That's pretty nice, that Banjo Museum.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Johnny Byer is the curator or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, curator.
He played at Rosie O'Grady's here in Orlando. He originally is from Wisconsin someplace and did traveling product shows with, what the hell was it? Some Mrs. Somebody's pretzels or some shit like that.
That's appetizing.
Well, Danny Rubio is on the board of directors of that museum.
That's right. Yeah. Right.
Really?
Right, that's right. He's not on it anymore, is he?
No, he still is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he still is.
Still
Okay.
on it. And most of y'all were up there in Oklahoma City a few years ago.
Yep.
And
That was not-
their showroom, they redecorated like a mustache. So it's pretty neat.
It's still like that. It's still
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty neat. It looks just like a mustache room. I mean, exactly.
Yeah, it does.
It was a lot of fun.
Y'all remember when we got up there, we all got on the bandstand for the first time?
Oh, yeah.
Joel said every club I've ever opened from the get-go, the first song was Somebody Stole My Gal, so I guess that'll be it. 2 C's and an E flat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a place to visit sometime.
Did any of you ever get to the Belgian club, Brussels?
Boston?
The
What did you
Belgian,
say, Ron? Boston?
the
Brussels.
Belgian club.
Oh,
Brussels?
Belgium.
Belgium.
no,
What about it?
only Mike Johnson that I know of. I think Harry Black was there.
Well, I got to
Mike
know
Gentry.
Harry
Mike
and,
Gentry was there too?
yeah.
I walked in the club and Mike says, "What the hell are you doing here?" And he's arranged so I can sit in. And, got to know Harry and Marie Black. And it's a good experience.
Where was the club in Brussels, Barry?
Right downtown, right off the Grand Plaza.
Oh, okay. Because I was in Brussels, well, 86.
But that was a lot of
I was
fun.
gone by then, though. Huh. But that was interesting, yeah. Wow.
I remember when I was.
Guys, I gotta take off.
Okay,
Yeah.
Pete.
Good
See
night,
ya.
Pete.
Hi, Pete.
See
Good to see you.
Be
Go
good.
on, Pete.
Bye-bye.
well, Pete.
Stay safe,
Be well.
everyone.
Be
I
safe.
guess,
Yeah.
I guess I better run too. Y'all take care, stay safe, and all that kind of good stuff.
All right.
Nickel Beer says Warren Harding.
I'm interested in finding out about
See you, Rick.
See you later.
Good night, Rick. Well,
Yeah, I
that's
think I'm going to go out for a nickel beer too.
a nickel
All
beer.
right, Christian, good to see you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hope you don't
turn-
get too cold
I
this
gotta
week.
turn my coffee in for a beer. You're right.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to check out too.
All right.
So next
think
week,
the-
guys,
See you
I
next
think the
week.
whole nation's going to be cold this week.
Yeah, I think it is.
So,
not us.
Not you, yeah, except for you.
Not us.
Yeah, we're looking for single digits tonight, and
Oh,
it's not been a fun week. I'll tell you. That isn't going to improve anytime soon. I don't think.
Hey, my brother-in-law lives in Monroe, Louisiana, and it's going to be 3 up there.
Sunday we got
Really?
10 overnight.
Yeah. They're wrapping their pipes because they all come out of the ground.
Oh Lord, really? Sure.
Yeah.
hey, Barry, where's Mike Gentry this week? Do you know?
I don't know. I'll have to call him.
Yeah.
You know, but I usually talk to him twice a week on the phone. Talk to Danny every other day. Yeah,
Right.
Tell Danny hi.
I will.
Yeah.
I guess some guys, this is not their thing, sitting here looking at a Zoom screen, you know.
It's
All
not
right, then.
Danny's thing,
No.
which is okay. That's okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
He showed
You
up.
always ask me how y'all doing. Did you do the Zoom? Who was on it and all that shit, you know.
We had a little lunch group that he was coming to for a while with Bob Bruce and
Right.
Ginger. You know, we just would meet once a month to go have lunch, but we haven't done that in months now. Obviously, you know.
Look,
Yeah.
Billy, you had me laughing the other day. When Flo put on that thing, she had to go to Biloxi for her shot.
Oh,
And Billy wrote on her Facebook thing, what's playing at the Roxy? I tell you what's
Oh
playing at
Lord.
the Roxy. Flo went to get her shot in Biloxi. Ah,
yeah. She
Did
was,
everybody here have their shots?
I got one of them.
Everybody here
while,
have
you
both shots?
Oh,
No.
yeah, I
No,
got
huh?
one.
I got one of them. I
I
got one.
got both. I'm done.
Well, for a while you couldn't get them. You couldn't get them if you were under 70 in Louisiana, but you can get them if you went over to Mississippi. So people were driving to Biloxi and getting them.
How
No
far is
kidding.
Biloxi from New Orleans?
About 2 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
And then all the people from Mississippi got pissed off and said, you New Orleanians, we don't want y'all coming to get our shots.
Well, that's what happened in Florida. A couple of weeks ago, they said, you got to have a Florida's driver's license and bring a utility bill. Because people
Really?
were coming in from all over the place.
And I tell you what, they need a lot of shots in Florida because all they got is old people there.
Yeah. Yeah, they said everybody over 65 can get a shot. The whole state was there. Yeah, everybody was there.
You know,
How's the saying go? You know what Florida State song is? I told you all that one.
Yeah, I forgot though.
Florida State song is way down upon a Swanee River because the Swanee River goes through Florida.
That's right. Yeah.
The real name of the song is Old Folks at Home, which is very apropos.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
It's funny here. The supermarkets have early morning hours for senior citizens. What are they, stupid? Everybody's a senior citizen here.
blame the old folks.
Everybody. This is God's waiting room here.
That's right.
Everybody's waiting to die.
And my brother-in-law, who's older than me, he's pushing 70. He calls all the old people Q-tips.
Oh, Q-tips, yeah.
He says, man, all I got around is Q-tips.
Hey,
Q-tips.
Stay off the old
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah, but I know my brother and sister live in Jersey. They can't even get appointments for shots. It's so screwed up there.
Yeah, it's that way here.
When I was young, the Dead Sea was just sick.
What's that?
You say, when I was young, the Dead Sea was just sick.
Yeah.
Dead Sea was just sick.
Yeah.
Snake,
Well-
look out.
Well, things loosened up. They gave us more doses, and Oxnard and St. Tammany opened up. So I think they're getting everybody down to 65 now.
Well, I'm 80.
Really?
I haven't heard a word.
Mm.
Yeah, Connecticut just went to 65. You can get if you're over 65, you can get a shot now.
Yeah.
Well, it's that way in Maryland, but you can't get on the list.
That's the thing in Jersey.
Yeah,
That's the thing. You can't get on the website. It closes down in 5 minutes.
yeah.
You just can't get them.
We only got on because my wife got a call at 4:00 in the morning that said, "Hey, Safeway's opened up. Go on it right now."
Well, what you got to do in Florida when they say everybody under 65, come here. There'll be nobody around. It'll be empty.
Gotcha.
You know.
So look,
Okay, guys, listen. I'll see you
I
next
gotta
week.
go.
All right, Ira. See you next
I
week.
gotta
Stay
go.
safe,
I gotta
everybody.
go.
See you, Jim.
Yeah.
See you next
Jim.
week.
Jim,
see y'all later.
Okay,
Hey,
buddy.
Barry.
So
Hey, Barry.
next,
coming on.
y'all be good. I'm a sign
Yeah.
off.
See you next Friday.
Okay.
Take care,
Happy
Happy
Mardi Gras.
Valentine's
Right.
Day.
Barry. See you. Snake.
Happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras.
Yeah,
Happy
happy Mardi Gras.
Valentine's. Yeah.
Yeah. Happy
Thank
Mardi
you.
Gras.
Thank you, Tom.
No problem. I'm going to end it all. Bye bye.
Bonsoir.